Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today is pretty much the whole wrap up of my entire Illusional Collection, which went through pretty much all of 2025 and a little bit in 2026. So we're obviously going to start off in, I think, the best build ever, which is the Waterpark. And as you can tell, this is a very big water park if you've already seen the full tour, which if you haven't, you definitely should. But this water park, I think, was one of my favorite builds because it did take me like 8 months to build it. I started in summer of 2024 and then I didn't finish it until February 2025, which was, yeah, a long time. But I really feel like this build was definitely pushing my limits with building, and it definitely paid off for what I was able to, of course, create and give out, and also because I heavily promoted it on my channel and everyone loved it. So yeah, this was truly a beautiful build that I had, and well, I can't wait to use it for later roleplays. But then we can move on now to my second build. And well, now I just casually teleported to my brand new airport. This is my second time building an airport, which is, it's pretty crazy when you think about it for a second time. But this airport was truly a beautiful thing to build, as it was also inspired by my other hotel, the Onez luxury hotel from 2024. And well, I really love this build. As you can tell from these pictures, it's really beautiful. It's very orange, but it's very nice and I really loved it. It was a nightmare though with plot data because I was struggling so hard with this plot because it was maxing out pretty much all the time, but it was truly one beautiful build which I would definitely love to use again multiple times, but where's the time? I don't have time for roleplays and that much, but truly a beautiful build. So now we can go on to my third build, which was a very big gap actually between these two plots and the third build. Welcome back to the Tropical Resort, which is my absolute favorite build of this collection. This build was announced as the first build in this collection all the way back in May of 2024. And ever since then, I've just been constantly building and planning, and then this came out all the way in June or July. I don't really remember, but honestly, this is my favorite plot ever, and I can never be more happy with it because this resort is absolutely crazy. I mean, you've seen all the promotion and pictures if you watch my stuff mostly, but if it's crazy how this build has evolved in such a beautiful way, and the amount of love it got as well is I really appreciate it for it, because this build is, I think, one of my most experimental ever, with so many different themes and everything, and it worked out so beautifully and so well. Truly one of my most favorite builds ever, and well, I love it. It's so beautiful. And now we can go to my fourth build. You guys might have stayed in a 1-story or a 5-story hotel, but probably not in a 7-story hotel, because this is the Grand Luxury Hotel of Onez, which is the first hotel I ever made. I'm not sure if anyone else did it, but from what I know, this is the first hotel I know of, which is 7 floors. And it's insane. I mean, 7 floors with such an experimental, detailed theme. This is my first time going very dark and vintage. And well, it is really beautiful. I love this hotel so much. The amount of bills are not fun though, because it's very expensive at 6.6 million. It is officially my most expensive build ever, and my most expensive build throughout this whole collection, which is, it's just crazy. But yeah, this is the Grand Luxury Hotel of Onez, which is my biggest hotel ever with 72 rooms. And well, it's just crazy. And then we can move on now to, I think, my least expensive build. Now we're at the Space Mansion, which is my only mansion of this year. So this is the Light Space Mansion, which I remade. It's the recreation of my Space Mansion from 2023, so it's a very old build, but I decided to remake it because I want to really improve my cyberpunk skills, and I think I really did with this build. It was really amazing. But that is kind of it for the mansion. It's the only one this year, and I have more to show, so let's go on to the next build. Hey, I have a performance. Yeah, this is the one stage, which I think was also my least promoted build out of the whole collection. And also, took me over a year. This is the longest taking build because I kind of ghosted it for like 6 months. So yeah, I just kind of left it behind. I let it dust up, you know, grab some flavors from the dust, you know. But yeah, this stage was released, and well, it didn't, of course, do the best. I think it's my least viewed build, or like my least known, but it is also a very good one to have, because you never know if you need performances. But also, the longest taking. I mean, it took me over a year. I started in October of 2024, and it didn't, like, finish until October 2025. So it was really, like, a long-taking build, but, you know, what happens, happens. So, yeah, this is the stage, and, well, nothing much to it. So now we can move on, because also this is my cheapest build ever. It's, I think, just barely over 2 million. And now here we are chilling at the Oneztopia Central Trade Station, which was also the teaser for my new collection, where I teased the Onez Mall, but no one catched it, because no one ever looked at the map clearly. So yeah, that's just fun, but, you know, I did kind of make it a terrible teaser, as I normally do. But, you know, this is the trade station, which I did promote, people were excited about, and, well, the full tour is kind of launching. I mean, it's doing well for me, but, you know, I thought it would be doing better, but, you know, it's fine, give it some time. But this is definitely a very experimental build of mine. I built trains, and they looked terrible at first. They looked like a plane. And then the plane doesn't look like a plane from the airport. It's just weird, okay? But then I redesigned them, and then I turned into, well, what we have behind me, which I personally like a lot more, despite, yeah, they're saying like it's too modern or something. I don't care. I like modern. But yeah, the trade station is very interesting of a build, and would definitely be fun to use in roleplays. But now we can move on as well to the second last build. I truly think I'm standing behind the most beautiful hotel I've ever been. People are saying the resort was beautiful, but I truly think this is the most beautiful hotel I ever built. This is the Grand Fantasy Hotel, where I try vintage style. Actually vintage style this time, not the Enchanted High School Nightmare Enchanted style. But this hotel was truly beautiful to build. It was built actually pretty, like, last minute, you could say, but it's really a beautiful hotel. Trying out this vintage style and actually having fun with it was really, like, it was actually really fun to work with. Would I work with it again? Probably, but probably not, because the amount of plot data it takes and the amount of detail you need is a lot. I mean, respect to those who actually build with it constantly, because it is really, really a lot of detail to make it look good. But this is really a beautiful hotel, and yes, I know, Fog, didn't you just go through 3 hotels in one collection in 1 year? Yes, I did. I don't regret it, but people are pissed off at me now because I built too many hotels. But yeah, we just live with that. But now we can move on to the final and last build of the Illusional Collections before we go into Breaking Views Collection. And now, for a beautiful way to round it all off, we are at Oneztopia, which is pretty much the city of everything. So this is the last build, which just had its full tour last week, actually. And, well, it is really a beautiful city. I think compared to my old city, Neon Fog City, this one is really, really a big improvement, because that one was just like plain. It was all empty, and I did a full tour on an empty city, which is very dumb actually when you think about it. But this time I did a full tour on a filled city with even the buildings filled. Well, not really behind me, because I'm recording this actually before the full tour of Oneztopia actually. So yeah, that's fun. But this is a beautiful city. I really love it, and I really liked how it got to be the last build that I actually round off for the collection. And with that, I can finally say the Illusional Collection is complete and it's finished. And we can finally move on to the Blinding Views collection. And if you want to get all new updates, you should really join my Discord server, because that's where I really post everything. But also now, the Illusional Collection comes to an approximate total of 35.8 million. Yes, this collection costed me 35.8 million to make. And yeah, that's a lot of money when you think about it. That's actually a lot of money. But I think also it was really worth it. For 9 builds and for the crazy detail that I got to put in it this year that I never probably did before. Truly a beautiful collection. I think also my most successful and my favorite, because the views and the amount of new people I got to meet and how fast I grew. Truly, you guys all mean so much to me. It really means so much that you got to see me in my favorite collection ever, and now I have a new collection coming up, which I hope you guys will love even more. So thank you guys so much for this beautiful collection and for being here, and I'll see you guys all in my new collection. Bye.